We are with NightMoves magazine live now with Nita Marie, who is arguably one of the most popular OnlyFans models right now. Would you
Oh,
like to
thanks.
introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Nita Marie, and I've been with OnlyFans for now about 2.5 years.
That was my first question. How long have you been on OnlyFans? Doesn't take, you don't get to 0% overnight. So
Yeah,
you've spent some time on it.
yes, I've been on OnlyFans for 2.5 years, and um, I was one of the fortunate ones that did reach a high level of success within the first year. But that was also partly because of luck and timing, since I joined right when, I joined about 6 months before COVID hit. So I was able to really get used to the system and used to the site before COVID. So it was great.
So what brought you into looking into OnlyFans? Like, why should I make an account? Especially with you saying that you did this prior to COVID. A lot of people did not jump on board with the online platforms until afterwards, but you were on before. So what really
Yeah.
pushed you to do it?
Well, when I got my divorce from my ex-husband about 5 years ago, I started modeling again just to kind of feel sexy, feel pretty, and just to gain my confidence. And I had a lot of fun. And some of my pictures started to get a lot of attention and kind of go viral on Facebook. And so I decided I'd actually create my own website because at that point I was a single mom, needed to make money, and modeling was taking up a lot of time and I wasn't making any money. So I kind of just got my feet wet with actually my own website. So I designed my own website, had something very similar to OnlyFans, but it was shut down when my payment processing system I was using was not working anymore and it banned adult content. And so then I had to start over. So it was kind of a scary time because I had made all this extra money with my website and then that was like gone. So that's when I thought about starting OnlyFans because it was just getting started at that time. And so I decided to open up an account.
Do you still have your own website as well, or are you exclusively on other platforms?
So I do have my own website, but it's a private website that you can only have access to if you're one of my top VIP clients. So it's not one that I advertise. OnlyFans is my main platform for most people, but then like my top VIP clients can be on my website.
So you said that you were able to climb to the top in a year. How
Yes.
much time did that take you online every day?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people think that you can just, get naked on camera and make lots of money. But that's really not the case. You have to work really hard and you have to be able to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And so for me, a lot of it was networking online, spending 8 to 10 hours a day, just responding to messages, networking in my Instagram. And then once I got introduced to Telegram, being able to network with other models and all of that.
So definitely you would consider OnlyFans, other adult platforms to be more time spent than a full-time job.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And I think that's a huge misconception, particularly with people that are a little jealous. They think, oh my gosh, like these women are just making so much money because they're showing their boobs, whatever. But it's not like that at all. Like you can't just be naked online and make a lot of money. Like you have to be smart in like business too.
I think we all wish it was that easy.
Right? Yeah, like I'm just gonna become a millionaire by, showing a little cleavage or whatever. It's just not that easy at all. So
So considering that you do nudity and perhaps more on your sites, would you consider yourself to be in the umbrella of sex workers?
yes, I would definitely. It's definitely not something that I thought I would get into, but for me, it's always just been something natural for me. So to be able to have a platform where I can express that and have it be a safe environment is great because it just is a very natural thing for me to do.
Have you ever been in any other area of the sex industry? Have you danced before? Have you been in a strip club? Let's say in any capacity, be it waitress, bartender, etc.
I haven't. I think it was something that I always wanted to do, but just never really had the confidence to do. And so the fact that it's online definitely gives me a certain level of safety as well. That I feel very comfortable doing things online that maybe I wouldn't feel comfortable in person.
A lot of the girls I talk to on a regular basis are feature entertainers, strippers. I travel across the country and go in clubs. And then I saw you recently had a booking with Hustler Las Vegas. So
Yes.
tell me about that. How did that work? Because you were virtual, correct?
Yes, yes. So I was virtual and I am willing to do some virtual appearances. So that was super fun. And it was fun to like be in that environment, but be virtual. So I definitely am open to doing virtual type things like that.
So I am used to when I'm on a feature booking going and I have a set amount of shows per night and I have a booth that I have posters and
Uh-huh.
cards but you were in a totally different state. So and I can't put it any more bluntly, what did you do?
Right? What did I do? Well, I did a topless baking show. So that
Oh
was
my
really fun.
goodness.
Yeah.
I
So
love this. What did you bake?
well, it was around Christmas time. So we did cookies. So I baked Christmas cookies, and the theme was jugs for Jesus because my article had just come out about me being a Christian OnlyFans model. So it was kind of a nice little Christmassy type theme with cookies. It was really fun. It
That's
was great.
perfect. I need to go find if there's footage of this somewhere now
I know.
for
I actually need to figure
for a
out if it was
friend.
recorded and send it because it was really fun. It was totally fun. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Would you consider featuring at strip clubs or nightclubs or bars throughout the country, be it virtual or in person, after you have had this experience with Hustler?
Yeah, definitely interested in virtual. So I'm definitely more open to the virtual option. Yeah.
That's easier in terms of your schedule. Obviously, you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about driving, finding a hotel, all of the goodies that come with traveling.
Yeah. And I have a family and so I try to limit my travel as much as possible. So yeah.
So another thing that you do not only is the OnlyFans and the feature bookings that you're getting traction on,
Definitely.
you
Yeah.
coach other girls to learn how to use OnlyFans and social media effectively.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little about that and how much time does that take up?
Yes. So definitely doing the coaching has been very rewarding because I've been able to help women go from not making any money to making 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30, 40,000 a month. And to me, that is really rewarding because in my other career, I do coach women to help also increase their self-esteem, self-confidence, and their income. And so I love that part, and I love the stories, and I love, really helping women. So yeah, it's very rewarding.
You've had some students that have come from making hundreds of dollars a month to being also in the top 0%.
Yes.
So you've put in a considerable amount into your coaching and your courses that you send out to other people.
Yes, I'm actually working on one for beginners. So what I've noticed is I have a lot of women that were kind of like me that hear about OnlyFans and they want to get their feet wet with it, but it's really a lot to learn if you haven't been doing stuff like this already. And so I want to create like a beginner's course just for people that maybe have never done anything like this that are interested.
In 3 sentences or less, how would you explain OnlyFans to a woman that was not previously in the sex industry?
Oh my gosh, 3 sentences or less. I would say that the number one thing you need to focus on is marketing, promotion, and networking. So those are my top three things that are valuable. And the content's important, but you can have amazing content. And if you don't know how to do those other three things, you're not going to make as much money. So focusing on marketing, promotion, and networking. And then content is like your fourth one.
But with content, Do you use a professional camera, or what do you use to shoot your content with?
All my content is amateur. I did do professional photo shoots at the very beginning of my career, and I do still have a lot of those. But now a lot of it's amateur because I do find that the fans really like the idea that I'm just a regular mom that is, horny and wants to have fun when her kids aren't around. Like it's just like a natural type of thing that's more real, to some of them.
And that's the big draw to online platforms that are subscription based rather than going to a major company adult
Yeah.
website, because you do get that interactivity and the, hey, this is a real person.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's someone they could see at the grocery store or, at Walmart and be like, oh, I wonder what she looks like naked, so. And OnlyFans, you get to find out.
I love that. We should all
Right?
just carry around business cards with our link on it, hand them
I'm
out
gonna
when
just
we're
be
out
looking
and
at my
about.
butt. Do you want my card?
Marketing in a different degree.
Right? I know. So funny.
So you coach, you do OnlyFans. I see a bunch of Mary Kay boxes in the background. What other jobs do you have? I know you're a businesswoman, you're a very intelligent lady. This is not the only thing you do.
Right. Well, I did, get my start with having, my own business with the cosmetics company. But really, my passion now is coaching, continuing my OnlyFans page. And I have another project coming up called The Witch Project. And that is really exciting because I'm actually getting ready to launch an entire program for women to heal trauma that maybe they've experienced in their past, not past life, but in their past, some in their past lives,
Fair enough.
and being able to basically clean out some negative trauma that's affecting their success. And so I am working on launching an entire healing website as well as a docuseries about healers and about the word witch, because it can be a very negative word. Some people see it as a negative word, but in my opinion, it's just a woman that's in touch with her feminine self that wants to also experience some of these things that we have the ability to do, like heal. And women have a lot of mystery around them that is really hard to put into a box. And so I think a lot of people in the past have been called witches when it's really just these women that are in touch with their feminine self in a very mysterious way.
So with the Witch Project, I did look into it and I've been watching from afar.
Yay.
How does that conflict with you and Christian values? Because you were, I've seen multiple articles, Christian mother, OnlyFans model.
Mm-hmm.
You also came out on New York Post and said that you had threesomes with God. So
right.
how does the Witch Project and your very strong Christian background intermingle and coexist happily?
Yes, I love that question. So basically, I consider myself Christian, but I am not necessarily religious in the sense that I think religion has been kind of taken over by the patriarch, where people are being told what to do instead of actually having a relationship with God and having a relationship with Jesus. So I definitely can't deny that I'm Christian because of my experiences with God and Jesus. However, I've always had a very broad perspective of it, where I believe that God really wants us to take care of the earth. He wants us to take care of each other. He wants us to use these things that we've been given for good. So in my mind, witchcraft can be using the elements that God created, which is essentially using God to bring healing to the world. So a lot of people that are Christian believe that, only Jesus can bring healing. And I do believe that Jesus is the ultimate healer. But I also believe that we were given these things on earth to be able to also heal each other and to bring more love into the world.
That is absolutely beautiful. That was a perfect answer. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because it is a good question. And so I'm glad you asked that question because I know it can be confusing.
I know when I saw it, I thought of how does this work together? But that makes sense, using what God has created in order to heal and move on
Yes.
from certain circumstances.
Because
Yes.
I personally have never felt like I fit into like the Christian religion, because a lot of it is, like I said, being told what to do instead of actually having that relationship. And because there's so much judgment in the Christian faith, even just being a sex worker, a lot of women feel like they can't have a relationship with God and be a sex worker. And so there's just been a lot of elements for me personally where I never felt like I fit in. And so this is an opportunity for me just to express my faith without feeling shamed or judged or anything like that.
I like that a lot. When I did dance full time, I just want to throw this out there.
Yeah.
There was a church that was near the club, and they would come in every Wednesday and they would bring Bibles and cupcakes for all the girls and
Yeah.
talk to them. So I do think
Nice.
sex work and Christianity can coexist.
Yes.
And I think your idea with the Witch Project very closely aligns to what this group of church ladies did when they came into the club.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. That's
I've
great.
got 2 more questions for
Okay.
you.
Yes.
And the first one is, if you could say what your top personal achievement was, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Just in general, in my life in general?
Yes,
Or with
everything.
OnlyFans?
Your entire
Everything.
life. What is your top personal achievement?
I would say my top personal achievement has been to have a good relationship with my husband. So I feel like I've had a lot of issues with men in my life. We all have like our Achilles heel. For me, it's always been my relationships. So I've worked really hard, and it took me, 42 years to get into a place that I could actually attract a healthy relationship with a man. And so to me, that's a huge achievement, because it's not only good for me, but it's also good for my kids to see me in a healthy, happy, positive relationship.
How long have you been married?
We've actually only been married for 6 months, but we have been together for 4 years.
Oh, well, you've been married for 4 years.
Yeah, I've been married for 4 years. But we're always growing and learning, and I am so grateful that I found someone who's willing to grow, and one thing I really want to teach my children is that anyone can heal, anyone can grow, but it always takes 2 people. So my previous relationship, he was not willing to change in areas that I needed him to. And so sometimes it is better to leave, but if 2 people are willing to work on it, anything's possible.
And your husband is totally supportive of your job and OnlyFans. And
yes,
is it something that you guys like laugh about over dinner? Like, you want to see this photo I took of myself today?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, he was actually my top fan. So he was my number 1 fan. And I never say date your fans. It's not a good idea, but he was my number 1 fan. And he was always so kind when he would post and say things to me. And so I had something that I needed help with. And for some reason, I trusted him to help me with it. And he was so kind because he didn't want anything in return. So a lot of times as a fan, someone might say, okay, I'll do this if I get like some nude pictures of you, or if I get this video, or if I get whatever. And he was like, no, I just did it to help you. Like, I just wanted to help you. And that was such a turn on. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to marry you. So,
and then you did.
Yeah, I did. It was like a few years later, but it was like such a turn on that someone was willing to help me without needing anything in return.
That is so cute. I feel like this is a fairy tale.
Yeah, it was a fairy tale. It is a fairy tale. It was like, oh my gosh, it was so great. Yeah.
So to wrap things up, I think perhaps you nailed it earlier with the marketing, but if you'd like to give out like 2 sentences worth of advice to somebody who's thinking about joining the online world, and then shout out your own website, all your handles, where we can find you.
Awesome. So 2 things of advice would be, number 1, don't worry about what other people think of you, because for every person that doesn't like what you're doing, there's going to be 2 or 3 people that do like what you're doing. And the second piece of advice is haters don't pay your bills. So remember that too. is anyone who's judging you also is not going to pay your mortgage next month when you need someone to pay your mortgage. So
Very
right?
true. Very true. Social
So
media is a horrible place sometimes.
yeah, so don't worry about the haters. They will be there, but you need to make decisions that will be best for you and your family. And my OnlyFans handle is onlyfans.com Mama Nita. So Mama Nita is my OnlyFans name. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Mama Nita Marie. And you can also find me on Twitter at MILFQueen __.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. Everybody needs to go find her handles.
Yes.
Trust me, you're going to want to see it.
Thank
And
you.
Night Moves Magazine thanks you for being on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.